Babes in arms and business meetings. Not your usual combination, certainly not in Japan.
Say hi.
Yushi Katayama founded Hatch, a co-working space come nursery, to provide mothers with a working environment that works for them.
If you really need to concentrate, you can tell the other parents, look, I really want to work today. Would you mind looking after the kids more? And it's a reciprocal system.
Yushi's wife, Minhee, who's a freelance graphic designer, says work dried up for her after she had her son, but not because she felt any less able to cope. Japan has this perception in its culture that women with children cannot work. So when I had a child, I got less work commissioned. Which is why so many highly educated women choose to quit the workforce. Not because of childcare issues, which is the primary reason in the US or Germany, but because their opportunities drastically diminish. Like Naoko Toyoda, who left the job she'd had in an IT firm a few months after she returned from maternity leave. I used to have about 10 staff working under me, but once you move into flexible working hours, there's a rule that you get demoted to the same level as the fresh recruits. And in Japan, with its aging population and shrinking birth rate, keeping women like Naoko in the workforce matters.
If you were to close the gender employment gap between Japanese men, which is 80% plus, one of the highest in the OECD, with Japanese women, which is still around 60%-ish, we estimate that you would add about 8.2 million workers into the Japanese workforce, which that alone, without making any assumptions about productivity, could lift the absolute level of Japanese GDP by as much as 14 percentage points.
In April, Prime Minister Shinzo Abe made womenomics, as it's been dubbed, key to his future growth strategy. Last week, he visited cosmetics giant Shiseido to see how government can support their childcare initiatives. But even companies which exhibit best practice by Japanese standards, like Shiseido, admit they have a long way to go.
Female leader ratio in Japan Shiseido Group is still 25.6%, whereas female leader ratio in overseas, where we have 20,000 employees overall, they got a female leader ratio of almost 60%.
Katayama believes change starts in places like this, with the entrepreneurs who in turn impact big business and then government. Because he thinks the standard of living his children can hope to expect tomorrow depends on the contribution Japan's women make today. Diana Magnay, CNN, Tokyo.